The Elddis Autoquest is Britain's best-selling motorhome range, and as the old saying has it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But Elddis isn't the kind of company that sits on its hands. It wants to tempt buyers for the 2018 season, so Autoquest therefore goes forward with some spec bumps and detail improvements. So let's have a look at some of these on the 155, a French-bed parallel lounge 4-berth that's very popular with people crossing over from caravanning. New for 2018, the habitation door gets its own window, and that's in addition to a brand new decal scheme for the sidewalls. Moving inside the van, there are also a few tweaks on display, the first of which is a new soft furnishing scheme that's so new they haven't even named it yet. Yes, you guessed correctly, we're here of the official preview, so we are literally having the first look at these new vans. Now this is the caravan style parallel lounge seating. You don't always see it in most motorhomes these days because a popular configuration is to have two travel seats arranged here in a line. But there are two travel seats in this particular van because belts equal berths as part of an Elddis policy. So there's a seat belt for each sleeping position. But you're probably wondering, where are the travel seats? I can't see anything. Simple, they're actually down there in the bed boxes. And if you do need to deploy the guest bed, then it makes up in a jiffy using sliding slats and rearranging the bed cushions, and the width is a whopping 6 foot 10 inches. Now, to create space for food preparation and the like, you just drop these lids. And you have to say that with them in the lowered position, there's a lot to get stuck into. If you need any more, however, then how about this worktop extension flap, which is also useful for popping plates on when you're serving into the dining area. And obviously there is a table that stores in the wardrobe of a folding leg variety that gets into the gangway in a matter of seconds. Now, one of the main plus points of the 155, of course, is its fixed French bed at the rear. Now, this particular example is 6 foot 4 inches long, so plenty of room for people to get comfortable and have a great night's sleep. And bear in mind that this van is actually 7 meters long, so that's a pretty good use of space all round. Now, some people say they don't really like the idea of a fixed bed because you're basically just driving something around and they're not very space efficient. But look at it this way, underneath there is an absolutely whopping storage compartment where you can get absolutely loads of things into that under bed space, and you can also load them from the side of the van through an external storage hatch. Now, next to the bed is the corner washroom, and to be honest, it is the only compromise in this van. But then again, you still get the essentials. It may be limited by space, but there's a tip-up sink, a swivel loo and a shower, so if you don't use the facilities on site, it's handy to know you've got all the essentials in your own van. Now, the Autoquest range is based on the Peugeot Boxer with a 2-litre engine producing 130 bhp, and as of last year, don't forget, it's the Euro 6 emissions rating, so you're bang on the money in terms of being green. Now, the MTPLM of these vehicles are 3,500 kilograms, and in the case of the 155, last year's model had a 612 kilogram user payload, which is very generous, especially if you would take into account that a touring couple will account for 150 kilograms on average. So there's plenty of space and weight to distribute your touring kit and caboodle. A couple of other highlights in the cab include DAB radio, very good indeed, with USB and Bluetooth connectivity for smartphones and tablets. Now, our test van is fitted with the optional Lux Pack, which at last year's prices was £1,218, and this adds cab air conditioning, cruise control and a passenger airbag. Now, we haven't had the prices and weights for 2018 Autoquest models yet, but last year's 155 cost just over £41,000 on the road. And bear in mind that for that you get 4 berths, 4 belts and a spec list that is very respectable. Bear in mind though that if that's not enough for you and you fancy a little bit more in the creature comforts department, then why not get a dealer special edition of the Autoquest? Not for nothing is this Britain's best-selling motorhome range.